Hey, good evening, good evening. I am Renee Williams, and I am a recovering addict. I'm glad to know who I am. I am so glad that I finally got a meaning of knowing who Renee is, and I hope y'all feel the same way. You know, we are on step 12 today, and this step, I'm gonna give you all I got on this step because all the steps is good, y'all, but I love this step because it opened eyes to a lot of different things, and I'm a word it different this time. I'm just gonna give you me in this step and let you know what the step is all about. You know, let us take a moment of silence for the addict who still suffer inside and outside of the walls recovery is everything. My God, the God of my understanding, thank you so much. Thank you for being so patient and kind with us as we struggle to get ourselves together and finally did it, you know, and I don't want to forget about the other ones that haven't gotten it yet. To a couple of people I had a conversation with yesterday, I know you're on here, and I want you to know that if you take heed to everything that a person have been through in recovery, and you have to be willing to want help. You have to be willing to want it. You got to be willing to change. You got to be willing to listen. You got to be willing to give yourself into this program, into the steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. You know, like I said, I'm Renee Williams. I am the host for today broadcast, and I thank you all, my supporters. I thank y'all, but I want to give a shout out to the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. I want to give a shout out to all the therapists and counselors that do what they do. I thank you so very much. Miss Sterling White for being my counselor for all them years and helping me sort my life together. Thank you. And he's still doing the thing. And I appreciate that. Thank you for all the other counselors and the therapists that goes into the rooms, inpatient and outpatient, and try to help the people get off of drugs and alcohol, or get off of any kind of drug, any kind of addiction. You know, it's a blessing, you know, and I thank you for that. I want to give a shout out to the ones that have lost a loved one due to addiction, overdose, addiction. You know, I lost a son that was fighting addiction, you know, and I know how we are left behind with our feelings. So I wanted to say to you all, you know, keep them in your heart and keep moving. And you have other people's looking up to you, and keep your loved ones in your heart and in your mind. You know, I also want to say thank you to the ones who celebrating clean time today. Somebody is celebrating clean time. To all my recovering friends that celebrated a birthday. Mike Jackson just celebrated his birthday on yesterday, and I'm just grateful for being and knowing where I'm going. And the difference of where I was, you know, and I'm so grateful for that. But y'all, come on, let's go. Hey, Robin. Hey, baby. How you doing? Glad to see you. Had a long day today. Look, this step. I'm gonna get into it. I feel it today. You know, Friday I was tired on Friday, y'all. I guess y'all could see the difference. But anyway, We are going to step 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. And we try to carry the message to the addicts and practice these principles in all our affairs. Having had a spiritual awakening, you know, that part. Having had a spiritual awakening. That mean I went through something. That mean I searched for something. That mean I got what I was looking for. You know, I was thinking that when I came into recovery, I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing about the disease of an addiction. I didn't know nothing about why I used and why I couldn't stop using. I didn't know why I was in so much pain all the time and didn't want to let go. And I needed to get a spiritual connection with the God of my understanding. And I was ready. Hey, my friend Linda, how you doing? My best friend is on here, Linda. Thank you so very much. I told Linda we're getting ready to get the High Steppers back, Powerful Women's, in the first week of June. And we getting ourselves prepared and ready. That's what recovery do. It keep us ready, keep us going. Good to see you, Linda, my friend. So, you know, this step, having had a spiritual. See, when we come into recovery, you know, we know about God. Come on, the millions of people do. We know about God, but we don't know how to have a relationship with God to find that spiritual awakening and that spiritual connection. And, you know, once I came into recovery, you know, it wasn't so hard for me to want to find him. See? Want to find him. Hey, Auntie Wanda, thank you. I thank y'all so very much. You know, and having had a spiritual awakening. What is a spiritual awakening? You know, because see, I was dead when I came in. I was walking dead. I just was broken so bad until I didn't even know how to get fixed. I didn't even know how to get started. And the God of my understanding helped me. And when I was broken. So many things that happened. So many, you know, and I give y'all a little bits and pieces of what I went through in my disease of an addiction. You know, I was looking at something on Facebook, and I remember this guy said he saw his friend, and he said that his girl had passed. I guess she had overdosed or something. She had passed, and they had took her on, and she was dead, and he was asking for money and begging for money, and he still wanted to go get one more. That lets you know this disease of an addiction don't play. While his girl was dead, taken off, they took her. He still needed something to kill that pain, to ease that pain. See, I can relate. I can relate to that. Because that's what we do. We find something that makes us feel better than what we already going through and feeling, and all we want to do is just get a little relief, and that little relief turns into a big relief, and then we keep on wanting that relief. We keep on searching for that drug or that one more. One is too many, 1,000 is never enough. That's sure enough the truth. And I was looking at that, man, it just stuck to my heart, because I know what it is to be addicted to this disease of an addiction. I understand. That's why I'm so grateful. That's why I'm so humble. That's why I'm so in tune with this having had a spiritual awakening. You know, like I said, most of us came in, we was lost, confused, damaged, you know, done, you know, not focused, you know, and then we come in, you know, when I came in, I was all of them things I just said. I was every bit of the things I just said. See, some people, this is what I like about me. I don't have to be that phony person no more. And having had a spiritual awakening, let me tell you what the results of these steps. They said the spiritual awakening results. Let me tell you what that part mean to me. It meant having found that spiritual connection to identify on who I am Why was these steps so important to me? And why did I get a ruling awakening? You know why? Every step had me in it. Why was I determined? Hey, Lorraine, honey, my other friend. Hey, Lorraine, how you doing? Haven't had a spiritual. That's totally different than working the steps. But it's getting you ready. It's preparing you to get a connection with the God of your understanding to relate to what he's trying to get you to find out about yourself. And having had a spiritual awakening, man, that was the best gift. That was the best thing I could have done. Because I came in thinking I was worthless. I came in thinking I was a nobody. I came in thinking I was a dressed up lie. I came in broken. I came in not understanding. I came in lost. I came in wanting to be found. I needed to find. So when you are having a spiritual awakening, what it does for the spiritual soul, for me, was, come on, find out why you had that spiritual awakening. What happened? First of all, I realized I ain't never alone. I ain't never alone. And the God of my understanding, he helped me. He helped me figure some things out. He sent some peoples to me. He sent therapists to me. He sent counselors to me. He sent me to some inpatient that was going to help me understand this disease of an addiction. When I tell you all the time, I hate this disease. I hate it because it does what it do. It destroys, it kills, and it separates. It separates. And it turns good peoples into no, one thing I can tell you about recovering addicts and everybody I've met is good peoples. We just made bad decisions. We did some hurtful things. We became somebody that we didn't even know who we were no more. And having had a spiritual awakening had told me, now God is telling me now, Renee, I had my hand on everybody, to everybody that's all over the world, to all my recovering addicts. Keep on. Keep on. From all over the world, people is dealing with addiction. You can't help but turn on the phones and turn the TV on and see the peoples. The world is in a chaotic place. And that's why if you don't know and have a spiritual awakening to deal with this, some peoples won't make it. See, I don't worry. Because the God of my understanding take care of me. Long as I stop using drugs, I can figure things out. Having had that spiritual awakening showed me, God, you was never not there for me. Reading the steps from 1 to 11 have helped me analyze the things that was most meaningful to me. I needed to find out, why am I in so much pain? Why have I created so many other problems that I didn't have to have, and I got them? Drugs was the biggest part, but my personality and character was the greatest part. Because my behavior, and when God showed me the things that he showed me from step 1 to step 11, it modified me to know who I am. And that I am worthy. You are worthy. We are worthy. Everybody is worthy for some gratefulness, for some joy, for some spiritual connection with the God of my understanding. If you don't know him, get to know him, because he'll make everything all right as long as you got a clear mind, and long as you focusing on your program and get into your program. And to the Miss Lady who I just talked to a few minutes ago in the store, she on too, because I put her on rep when I was pulling up, and told her just hit the button, and she was crying, and she lost her children due to addiction. But I told her I lost me, but I found me. You lost your kids? Do what you need to do for yourself to get your kids back. That's called growth. That's called accountability. That's called you need to get a spiritual connection. And I gave her a book because I keep books in my car. I buy them and I put them in my car and I sign them and I give them a little testimony and say something to encourage them to go on and want to, and I'm so proud. Don't stop here. Let me tell everyone that comes on and you telling how much clean time you got. 4 days, 6 days, 6 months, 12 months. Hey, it's never going to not make you feel appreciated because you doing something different that you didn't normally do, and that's stay clean. You know, and that means a lot when I go on there and I try to say congratulations or give a little more meaning or some little more words because I know what they going through. The disease of an addiction is baffling and it's cunning and it'll trick you. It'll trick you. To my godmother who's watching, thank you, godmama, for all the love you have gave me. Thank you so much. You know, if I had not had a spiritual awakening, where would I be? Tell me, where would I be? I don't even know. But I do know I don't want to go back to who I used to be. I know that much. I know that I like the life I'm living now. Y'all should like the life you're living now. You know, and having had a spiritual awakening, that means it opened my eyes to a lot of things that I couldn't see before. It opened my eyes that I don't have to get accountability trying to keep somebody in my life that don't mean me no good. That shows that spirituality, the God of my understanding, got connected with me and showed me my worth. It'll show you your worth. You know, and it's what all you think about yourself when you work in these steps. You know, giving insight to why you did the crazy things that you did. And when you haven't had a spiritual awakening from all the steps, you hear what I said, from all the steps, you ain't missed nothing if you got a spiritual awakening. That means somewhere down the line, you got connected with God and you see now. You see where you went wrong. You see where you fell. You see how you hit rock bottom. It tells you why. It tells us about our impulsiveness. It tells us about how selfish we can be and self-centered to where we don't care about ourselves and nobody else. It's all about us getting one more. It's all about us getting high. It's all about us freeing ourselves. And it says, having had that spiritual, why did I need the spiritual awakening? For one, I was lost. Two, to have a connection with the God, that spiritual connection, it just does something. It keeps building me and making me realize how much strength I had and how once I was lost, but now I'm found, and now I got a spiritual connection from all the steps and a spiritual connection with God, because God is all in the steps. That's why I made it, y'all. I wouldn't have made it if God wasn't in these steps. I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't have made it. No way in the world I would have made it if God hadn't have been in them steps. Because God is the one that's going to keep us. He going to teach us. We going to learn. And having had that spiritual awakening, guess what? It boosts my ego to be good, to be nice, to be kind, to let go of things I cannot change. That ruling awakening for me was an uplift. Like it took a ton of weight off of me. It's like God just showed me the inner me can be beautiful and worthy. And we don't have to settle for less. And I work my steps. I go to my meetings. I get my sponsor. So having had a spiritual awakening of the recept, we try to carry. That's what I'm doing now. We try to carry the message. You know, everybody have a message, and everybody tell their message different. Everybody connect with people in their own way. It's what you perceive from what you get out of it. So having had a spiritual awakening has reborn me. What you say, Renee? What you say, Renee? Have reborn you. What that mean? I was born one way. Come on, Renee. I was born one way. Then became addicted. And then I changed. And by me changing caused me unhealthy problems, pain. I was lost. Didn't have a spiritual connection. Didn't have that connection with God that I wanted. I searched and I sought through prayer to get what I needed for me. You know, they say this program can be a selfish program. Hey, for me, I needed it all. For me, I wanted it all. I wanted to know my do's and my don'ts and why. And why did I do this? And what could I do different? And what must I change? And what must I give up? What must I find in order to keep this spiritual awakening going with me? I don't want it to die. Happy birthday, Mike. I just gave you a holler on birthday. He's another recovering brother, like my brother. I didn't want it to die. I wanted to learn how to fix things and that I can't, they say my problem was overthinking, self-centered, wanted things my way. And I had to learn how to deal with just being in a way to where I can accept everything. And I never could do that before. That spiritual awakening that God allowed me to get through the steps of 1 and through the steps of 11 to get to 12 has taught me so much. I'm more than I ever thought I was. Come on. All you got to do is do the footwork. All you got to do is do the footwork. The footwork tells you, long as you do the steps, long as you stay in the program, your foot won't go wrong. But soon as you make a U-turn and start thinking and pulling back and trying to do it your way, that's when you lose. Haven't had that spiritual awakening. It got me so close to the God of my understanding. It got me to learn how to forgive myself. To forgive myself for every dirty thing, every nasty thing, every heartbreaking thing that I said to somebody, everything that was done to me. I had to learn how to forgive myself. Haven't had that spiritual awakening and had a connection with 1 and through 11 to get to 12, I couldn't have made it. So these steps have helped me grow. It have helped me get that connection that I was so longing and didn't have before. Oh, I knew about God. We all know about God. That ain't no secret. But I didn't understand how God can come into your life and let you help you and send you to people that's going to help you learn about this disease of an addiction. You know, I'm so grateful that I understand what the having had a spiritual awakening can do for us, do for the mind, because when we were using, the mind was froze. It was froze where we only think one way, and that was to get one more. And now we making decisions to haven't had a ruling awakening tells us that we can be anything we want to be. We don't have to accept things that is not good for us. Learn how to deal with the loneliness and being by you and being with you is a turning point. Because I didn't like to be alone. And when you get the spiritual connection and that, if I had not had a spiritual awakening, I'd be lost. I'd be still getting high. Still damaged. Still looking for one more. Hi, Lionel. Hey, baby. Good to see you. Good to see you. One more. So, when you go through these steps, they tell you to get step by step. Not zooming through them. You hear me? Not zooming through them, but working through them. Understanding them. Get a sponsor. I got a good sponsor. And she helped me with the unknown. Because I didn't know that it was some steps that would bring me to having had to get that spiritual awakening to want to live right, do right, and be right, and get right. See, I ain't doing it for nobody but me. Because all my life, I tried to do things for everybody else. And then one thing that I left out, and we leave out, is us. We put everybody else in Front Street. We do, and another thing we try to do, we try to amend what we messed up. Try to fix something that was broken, and we just learning how to get a connection with God and deal with the steps so we can be on a whole total different level. See, I get along with everybody, and I even get along with my daughter because, see, sometimes in our lives, we have to see ourselves too. It can't be just one way. It has to be a little bit of me, and it has to be a little bit of her. And you have to learn how to compromise in your thinking. Compromise can't always be your way. Recovery teaches us that. When we start giving up things that we once had and start living the life that we didn't want to live, and now we live in a whole total different life. That song says, "Celebrate me." Girl, I started to get on there and start doing what they was doing and jumping. And don't get me wrong, I still might get on there and get the dancing and singing because I do celebrate me. That is the most truthful song I've ever heard. Celebrate you. Because when we were using, we didn't know nothing about celebrating. All we did was drink and got high and stole and lied and broken. And I was broken in so many pieces I couldn't even find out where I left the pieces at. I had pieces everywhere. That's how broken we come in. That's how broken we become. And I said to myself, God, if you help me, help myself, I promise I'll never use again. And I had to do something bigger than me. I had to make a promise to the God of my understanding because I'm too scared to break it. So that was a hope shot that I went for, and it has been treating me very well, and it would treat you the same way. Haven't had a spiritual, okay, Renee, what is a spiritual awakening? Spiritual awakening is when you go through steps and you can identify the steps. And how did you feel working the steps? Hey, Caroline, how did you feel working the steps? What came out of you as you worked step one? I'm tired. Turning it over. Can't do this no more. I want to let go. 2, I got to believe in what I'm saying in order to find out what this spiritual awakening is. I got to believe. So little bitty things start happening as we start working the steps. Stop going out. Stop hanging around people that didn't want what I wanted. My spiritual connection, the spiritual awakening is starting to come because now I'm feeling something different inside. Hey, Caroline, I'm feeling something different inside. Hey, Latrice, I'm feeling something different inside because now I'm letting somebody come in and show me the right way to live. Talk to me, to give me the steps. Okay, and as that step 3, he can't. I can't, he can, so I let him. Man, that spirituality started in that too. All of a sudden I started building myself up. I I start wanting to have a connection to God. I start having spiritual awakenings that I know I need to do some things different. I know I need to find out and keep searching. I want to be whole. God, I want you to, I'm tired. I'm just tired. I'm tired of getting in my car chasing drugs, getting in my car chasing something that's going to take away some pain. You know, ain't nothing going to take away from the pain but stop using so you can deal with the pain. Some people don't know how to do that. See, I had to learn how to do that. Because when you're addictive, when you want something right then to calm your nerves, somebody done hurt your feelings, somebody done dogged you out, somebody done stole some money, your kids done hurt you so bad, the first thing we want to do is run. We ain't seen no spiritual awakening. We ain't had no connection with God. Only thing I knew to do was to pray, but I still was a praying addict because I kept using. Haven't had I not had a spiritual awakening, where would I be? I tell you where I would be. I wouldn't be on this broadcast. I'll probably be dead somewhere. And if I'm not dead, I would probably be lonely searching for somebody to give me one more. So having had that spiritual awakening from the steps, it was the step that brought me closer to finding what the spiritual awakening was. And the spiritual awakening is, I feel you. I feel you, God. I hear you, God. Keep carrying me, God. I get scared sometimes. That urge still come back every now and then. Come on, God, this is when I first came in. The urges would not leave me. Until Mr. Sterling White, the counselor Sterling White told me, said, look, the longer you linger that in, the longer it'll keep coming in, and you won't know how to fix it because you let it linger in. That made sense. When you get that urge, do something. What do? I love to sew. I love to cook. I love to bake. I love to fix stuff. I love to decorate. That's what I did. That's what I did every time I got an urge. Cut on my music, get to cleaning, baking, doing things. Because I knew the God of my understanding was right with me. See, going through them steps, people think it's easy. It ain't easy to let go of something that you see in yourself in that step. Like I had a problem of letting go of things. I like to hold on to things. You hurt me. You know. In our selfishness, we thinking about you hurt me, but who have we hurt? I hurt my mother, man. I hurt my kids. I needed to fix me. I wanted that spiritual awakening. And boy, I got it. I got it because I didn't want it to go away, and I kept it. Every time I'm going through something, I go through the step that I'm familiar with the most. And step one is the one that let me know I am powerless over my addiction. I am powerless over people's. I am powerless over things. I got to sit my butt down and analyze, why am I taking it so hard? Because that was a familiar place for me to not let go. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, why do we go to meetings? To give a message. Why do we carry the message to all over the world to help other recovering addicts? Why do our message have to be loving and kind to one another? Shows growth. It shows change. It shows your character. It shows that you've been working on something. It shows that you ain't that old beast that we used to carry on our back. You know, I can smile at you. I couldn't do that before. I can smile at you and be upset with you. That's growth. That's that spiritual awakening that shows me how to grow through the steps. And the steps took a lot of things that I probably would be going to a doctor and he charging me all that money. But because I work a program, because I go to meetings, and because I hear everybody life, strength, and hope messages, and because I study, and because I ask questions, and because I'm always seeking for answer, I can't lose. You won't lose neither. Some people are so in denial about their feelings. I ain't gonna lie. And I don't want to be like that because I used to be. You know, certain peoples in your life hurt you over and over and over again. You can't buy them with money. You can't buy them with things. My fault. Come on, Renee. I'm talking about me. Don't take it personal. I'm talking about me. And having had that spiritual awakening, I couldn't tell y'all that. Because sometimes we try to buy love and buy our kids and buy things, and then we there we go, people pleasing. People pleasing me towards your kids too. That ain't going to make them love you no more or love you no less. They going to be where they at. And when you go through life, I did that. It was me. That's why my kids were spoiled rotten. People can say what they want to. My kids were spoiled rotten. I didn't have to go buy no 300 and 400 pair of tennis shoes. No, I wasn't doing that no way. I didn't buy that for me. But I tried to buy their love because of all the bull crap I had done. For the days and nights that I wasn't there. I had to find me all over again in these steps. Our behaviors and our ways will cause us pain that we won't let go of if we don't work a program. I had to find all the things that was causing me to keep using. Buying the kids, going without, giving them my last, trying to make you love me more. I'm sorry for what I done. I'm sorry I wasn't at the school. I'm sorry when you got hurt and I wasn't there. I'm sorry for letting you down. This spiritual awakening, in these steps showed me I ain't got to be sorry. I just got to ask you for forgiveness. And don't go back no more. I cannot buy love. I cannot buy peace. I cannot buy joy. It has to come on its own. You have to work in order to get that spiritual connection from these steps. And this is why I go through these steps. Because every time I go through the steps, it makes me realize how stronger I've got. What I have noticed, what I have seen, what part I played, what had me bound, what's keeping me from not healing. I can't stand it. Now, if I got a problem, I got some answers, I'm going to go to you because, see, we as recovering addicts haven't had that spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. We supposed to have been to learn something from these other steps. And when I go to you and say, look, I need to talk, something has bothered me because, see, I don't want to harbor resentments. I don't want to be sitting there and I'm mad and I'm angry. That ain't of God. When you work that program is to teach you no matter what happens, I can't use. What happens, I can't use. So what I got to do, I got to identify, having had that spiritual awakening, what did it wake me up from? What a spiritual awakenings did I get? Well, come on, Renee, tell them what you got. I was a lost person. I didn't want God to get in. I didn't want to have to keep feeling the way I was feeling, so I got high. And then I had to understand, what other spiritual awakening did you gain from working these steps? One, I can't use. I let go. Too powerless. The other spiritual awakenings I got was, God, thank you. Thank you for the hope. Thank you for building me back up. Thank you for strengthening my inner spirituality with you, that I can go through these steps and see how I have changed. Did nobody change me? I changed. You only change from working on self. Can't nobody come in here and make you be kindness. Can't nobody come in here and make you forgive somebody. Can't nobody come in here and tell you you can't harm nobody else. That's what you got out of these steps. Out of them steps is a healing. It's a healing process. And it's also some spiritual connection with God in these steps. Every last one of them for me. I don't know about y'all. But when I came through these steps and I started reading this step 1 and stayed on step 1 and went on step 2 to step 3, I learned something about me. I learned that if I didn't change, if I continue to get high, I will lose. Ain't no sneaking. Ain't no dibbing and dabbing. I can't use. When you get a spiritual connection with God, you can't hide from nothing. You can't hide from your feelings. You can't hide from your impulse. You can't hide from your behaviors. You can't hide from your character, because that's who you are. And you have to learn how to work on self. If you ain't got time to work on yourself and process things and sit back and think about some things and nurture yourself and work on yourself and study, you won't get there. This recovery is not no joke. It's not a seasonal program. It's a everyday 365 days out of a year to work on yourself and show yourself some approval. I worked on me. I ain't never getting high. I don't care what happens. And boy, don't you think a lot of stuff won't happen once you get clean. But having had a spiritual awakening, you know how to deal with it, see. Have you ever been hurting so bad to where you just felt like you wanted to bend over and just and in a fetal position that if you could just scream and yell and holler? Or have you ever felt like being clean if you wanted to? I remember when my mother died and I wanted to jump over that bridge. I remember, had I not had no spiritual connection with God and found it, when I put that gun to my head, I would have been dead. I would have been dead. I see my sister Evangelist Selena's on here. Hey, sis. I would have been dead. But I had to work on something. I had to let go of the struggles in my mind, in my brain. Satan had captivated me in my brain. It was so cloudy. I couldn't see nothing but I was hurt. I can't stop using. I just keep using and keep using. And I don't care. And I won't take a bath. And I won't comb my hair. And I want one more. And I want one more. Until something I told y'all, if you go back on my broadcast, came out of a bush. Woo! Saved my life. Only me and God knew. So, if you think that I don't love being clean, follow me. I'll show you how much I like being clean. I'll show up. I'll go to meetings. I'll tell my story. I'll listen to your story. That's how connected I am. Because, see, y'all don't know everything about me. But I've been given whatever God tells me to do, that's what I do. And when I told you all about that, I'm so glad I've had a spiritual awakening, because when God wakes me up and tells me to do something, that means I'm connected. That means he still got his hands on me. He haven't turned me away. He's not a God that would do that. And when I tell you I had that gun on the side of my house and I wouldn't want my kids to find me in the house, and I put that gun in my head, I was done. I was done. I was done. I thought I was at the lowest point of my life, to where I wanted to take my own life in the wee bit hours of the darkness. Because I couldn't get it together. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't stop using. I made every excuse in the book to keep going. Every time somebody hurt me, I used. Every time somebody mistreated me, I used. Every time I put expectation on somebody, I used. Until a ghost, or whatever it was, spiritual. I ain't never forgetting. If I tell you all the stuff that done happened to me, and I see that God had favor on me in the same way he got it on me, he got it on y'all too. He don't just pick certain people. He's a loving and kind God. What he do for me, he'll do for you. And what he do for you, he'll do something for somebody else. If you ain't never been in a dark place, if you ain't never wanted where you thought nothing is working and it ain't gonna change, you never gonna stop using. Don't let the enemy get in your head and trick you and tell you that you can't stop. What are you doing to try and help yourself? Person took that gun out of my hand just as bright as 1, 2, 3. And I'm trying to figure out, am I that high? See, I'm a coward. I had to do it in the midst of my act of using. I had to put the gun to my head while I was high and drunk, and all of a sudden I was at the lowest point. See, I don't play with that, because my favorite uncle, my loving and kind favorite uncle, 23, did what I did. He did what I did. But he didn't make it. His life was in turmoil. Laid on the bed and got his pills and got his gun and got his weed and laid there, and the gun went off. He didn't make it. That damaged me. He was my favorite uncle, my dancer, boy. Couldn't nobody beat us dancing in the show and the talent show. Couldn't nobody touch us, I thought. laid in the bed while the enemy in his head and shot and killed herself. And guess who had to find him like that? I did. With his legs crossed. My favorite uncle. My favorite. My auntie's brother. I don't forget it today. I crawled through that window. I seen that. And at my lowest point of my life, if I had not had a spiritual awakening now, I couldn't even survive the thinking, the everlasting impression. But I asked God a question. God, can you, I did this years ago. Having had a spiritual awakening taught me how I can connect with God and ask him things, and I can go back on the steps and I can look at things. And I asked God, I said, God, just show me my uncle. Let me just see him and get a confirmation that I know he okay. And it took a couple years. But one day I was just laying there in my bed and I saw his head. Seemed like the whole wall open. Y'all can think I'm crazy if you want to, but I don't care. Because God know I wouldn't lie on him. And all of a sudden it opened and I saw his face and he shook his head. He was gone. That was my confirmation. So having had a spiritual awakening now, I know anything is possible. Everything can be great. Everything can be good. But guess what? Some things gonna happen while we clean. And that's the key point. That nothing stops. Still gonna get hurt. Still gonna get overlooked. Still gonna be talked about. None of that's gonna change. Only with certain peoples who know you have changed. Haven't had that spiritual awakening as a result of the steps. We try to carry it. I ain't trying. I'm gonna carry it. It says try to carry the message to the addicts. I'm an addict. I'm carrying the message. I'm telling you the program works. I'm telling you what he done for me. I'm telling you I had a spiritual awakening through the steps of all them steps. I had a spiritual awakening. Every step I got something out of it. Every step I started growing. Every step I started knowing something different. Every step I started feeling confidence. Feeling relieved. Every steps helped me how to forgive, how to write letters, how to get some acceptance that I had to make some amends. That freed me. I started just feeling the weight coming off. And then we kept on going. You know, you got to let go of things that you cannot change. You got to stop people pleasing, because that's what got me high. I ain't people pleasing no more. I'll tell you no in a minute. I'll say I can't in a minute. I'll say I can't take it no more in a minute. I worked the program. The program worked for me. It told me, it suggested me what to do. When things don't go my way, get out the way. That's what worked for me. When things don't go my way, get out the way. We can't be clean and still trying to manage and control certain things and do things. But having had that spiritual awakening taught me I don't have to. I had a spiritual awakening through all the steps. And all the steps taught me how to be confident, how to be laid back, how to be cool, how to walk with my head up. Never again will I walk with my head down, because at time, and when I was using, all I did was put on my makeup when I wanted to, when I could, when I had some, and then all of a sudden I walk with my head down. I ain't doing that no more. I ain't doing that no more. I ain't got to go hide no more. I ain't got to isolate no more. I ain't got to not answer the phone because I owe you some money or because I don't want to be bothered. I ain't got to do that no more. I keep my life simple. You got to learn to come into a program and keep your life in a balance. Having had a spiritual awakening from all the results of this step, I couldn't do that. You know, I had to, every time something went wrong, I had to jump up, manage, try to control it, try to fix it. And that was too much for an addict that's still using. So I had to learn how, when I came in, to work them steps and get a personal relationship with God and and have a spiritual awakening through the results of these steps to carry the message. I'm going to carry it wherever I go. In the grocery store, no matter where I'm at. I'm always seeing peoples. I'm going to carry the message until the day I die, and I can't. Because I'm so grateful that I didn't die in the active addicted of using. I'm so glad I got a chance to see that the program worked. That all I had to do was trust, believe, keep an open mind and willingness to want to do the steps, to want to change, to want to learn, to want to get the help that I needed to nurture me so I can give it back to another individual, another addict. I do that. Every chance I get, I do that. Try to carry the message to the addicts. That's what I do. That was my purpose. And then when I got a spiritual connection as to these steps, I asked God, I said, God, you so awesome. But you let me go through all that. You let me go with the kind, baffling, the ugliness, the on the bottom, looking on the floor for drugs, sleeping in the garage, sleeping in the car, getting raped. You let me go through all that to bring me out. Y'all better celebrate, y'all. Because some people didn't make it out. And somebody else ain't gonna make it. Somebody else ain't gonna make it. They drinking themselves to death, popping their pills to death, because they don't deal with the truth. The truth kept me high. Truth kept me going. Truth kept me lying. If you don't start looking at yourself and calling it for really, really is, and you letting even your loved ones or peoples or somebody you really love, always remember, sometimes when a person ain't been nurtured, sometimes when a person don't know how to love, and we grew to know how to love, we had to find a spiritual connection with God, how to forgive and how to let go and how to nurture ourselves, but they ain't there yet. Say their only purpose is to use you, hurt you, whatever they can do to you. And I stay away from them people. I don't care if it's my kids. I don't care if it's my kinfolk. I don't deal with nobody that I have to satisfy them. I come first. Because I never put myself first. But I tell you what, working them program, working this 12 step, working 1 to 11, help show me, guess what, Renee, you come first. I always denied me being first. I'm coming first, no matter what. Oh, I'll let you think you get over. I'll let you think that you done something. I'll let you think you won. Because I'm dealing with an inside spiritual connection that's going to make me sit my butt down, sit my fat butt down on this chair, on my couch in my room, and say, God, work it out. Work it out. Because I ain't doing it no more. But I am going to speak the truth. I am going to speak how I feel. I am going to speak what I want to speak. But I just got to do it in a loving and kind way to get the message across. See, we as addicts, we had to train ourselves how to do things different. Not just me, y'all too. Haven't had a spiritual awakening as a steps of all this, as a result of these steps, to try to carry the message to the addict and practice these principles in all our affairs. Why should we practice it? One, we got to know the principles in all these affairs. If we don't carry and practice these principles in all our affairs, then we dipping and diving and putting stuff in we want to put in and doing it our way. Yeah, they say there's only one way you got to do this. You got to do it the way they say you got to do it. Because you can't add and subtract. And we have to carry the message to the addicts and to practice. Listen, practice these principles. Everything we learn from 1 to 11, we have to continue to practice them To learn the principles in all our affairs. We got to learn. I certain things I can't say. You know, I came in here saying some things on here and somebody, you know, talked to me about it and I don't do it. You can't mix religions with this program. You can't bring in, just so many things you cannot do. And I had to go back and do some more studying. I'm okay. I'm teachable. I'm learnable. And I'm okay with that. You know, and I found a new way to live. And I found a new way to live without the drugs and the alcohol. I ain't got to be your best friend. I ain't got to be your best friend so you can keep me getting high. I ain't got to be your best friend so you can keep hurting me and using me. You know, I'm my best friend. I'm my best friend. You have to learn to be your own best friend. Because other people's will use you. And you know the bad point about it? We let them. The bad part about it, we let them. I let so many people, come on, Renee. I let so many people tell me who I was not. And who I couldn't be. I had people around me that was jealous of me, wanted to be just like me, and I was an addict. I had a lot of people that wanted to hurt me without even knowing why they wanted to hurt me. What was it? What did they see that I didn't see? Because I didn't see no good in me. I just saw using. I saw using. That's all I seen. And lie and manipulate and do what I can. But now I don't do that. I keep it real. But I think. And if I got somebody I want to say, look, I need to talk to you. Me and you need to put some time down for me. Or can I talk to you? You know, I got some answers. Something is bothering me. And I need to find out what I need to do. You know, I need to know where I'm going. I need to understand why am I bothered by certain things. You know, and I have to do that. And, you know, step 1 through step 11 teaches us that we have to be humble. We have to be listeners. We have to understand. We have to abide by the Narcotics Anonymous program. And we have to get understanding. And we have to find answers. We have to receive the healing and the spiritual part that comes from the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. It's been good to me. And you know, I tell God all the time, I say, God, why couldn't I have did this, you know, maybe 60 years? Maybe, why? I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And I've been ready for years. Decades. I've been ready. You don't know what it is. You know, like when you go to a bubblegum machine, and I say, I want that purple bubble gum. I do that when I go to the Goodwills. It's always the purple bubble gum. And when I go in the Goodwills, I go in there, I have me a bunch of quarters, and I put about 5 quarters in there. I want that purple bubble gum. But every time I go for the last 3 weeks, I never can forget that bubble gum. The yellow will fall, the red will fall, the pink will fall, the strawberry will fall, but not the purple one. So I took that incident and I said, okay, that's what life is. We want something, but if we don't keep on to get it, we won't get it. I'm going to get that purple bubble gum. Let me tell you that right now. I'm going to keep on until I get that purple bubble gum. Because once I came into recovery, it's no quitting for me. It's no quitting. And I'm going to get that purple bubble gum. If I got to spend $10 in order to get that bubble gum, that purple bubble gum, I'm going to get that bubble gum. Because you know what that tells me? Ain't no stopping me. I ain't bothering nobody, am I, y'all? Just want a purple bubble gum. So I had to analyze that. God, what is it about this purple bubble gum? Because I have a choice. I have a color. I have a demeanor now to know that I don't have to give up. Because I don't get what I want right then, don't mean I'm not going to get that purple bubble gum. Do you feel me? That don't mean that. That means keep coming. Like they tell us at the meet, keep on coming till you get the message. Keep on coming till the miracle happen. And I found out one thing, that we are the miracle. We are the miracle. And I'm going to get that bubble gum. I laughed about it in the car. I said, okay, God, I done spent $2 more. And I still, every purple bubble gum Renee, okay. Keep it coming. Because the day you think you ain't going to get it, that's the day you're going to get it. And I send that out to a message to you all. Don't ever think that it's up and give up on something because it didn't happen that way, or it didn't happen that day, or it didn't happen that week. Don't ever give up. Don't settle for less no more. When we was dope fiends and crackheads, and they call us so many names. When we was on them drugs, you know, we was called everything and anything. But you know what? I'm gonna get that purple bubble gum. I'm gonna get it. I told God, I said, God, you know I ain't no quitter. You know I ain't gonna quit. Every time I go in there and see that purple or that doggone machine, I'm going to try for because see, that lets me know my life is in order. That lets me know that we can strive and become anything we want to be. Having had that spiritual connection with God as a result of these steps, and to try to carry the message to the addicts and practice these principles in all our affairs. What's affairs? Everybody we connected to. Everybody we come up on. Everybody we meet on the street. You know, my daughter told me today, Mama, you meet people everywhere, yeah? Talking about my bringing back. You know, I'm so excited because we finna get our high steppers back on. Y'all don't know about the high steppers. Hey, we had plenty of women, all the way up to 80 to 90 women all over coming to our meetings, and strong women helping the younger ones and the newcomers come in. You know, I'm ready for that. When it comes to helping another addict, I'm game. I found my purpose through being an addict. I found my purpose of knowing who I am. You know, some people in life don't even know what their purpose is, and they 60, 70, some of them 50 and 40. They still don't know what their purpose is. It ain't about people pleasing. It ain't about money. It ain't about giving. It ain't about satisfying everybody else. Why don't you try satisfying yourself? Why don't you try building the inside of your spiritualness and try to connect with the God of your understanding to help show you that you better than what anybody think you are? I come a long ways. And I am so grateful. Every day I tell God I'm grateful. Every day I tell him I thank you. Because he done saved my life. People say, oh, the cat got 9 lives. I had more than that. I had more than that. So he had a purpose for me, and the purpose for me is to do his will and to carry the message out and practice these principles in all our affairs, whoever we come with, whatever conversation we have, to every human being that's struggling out there. We got people that's struggling. We got people that's homeless due to their addiction. We got mental illness due to their addiction. We got depression due to their using drugs. You know, everybody I talk to, how you become homeless, how you become this. God trying to send me in a whole another way, and I'm just being patient. Because most of our homeless people, most of our people that's on the street is homeless because of an addiction. It's because of an addiction. And you have to learn. If you ain't never been an addict, you wouldn't understand. If you ain't never walked in our shoes, you couldn't walk them. You know, you have to be done walked in our shoes to actually know how it feels to walk in a shoe that all of a sudden is the same size and the same color. And what I'm saying is that I was walking in a 12, but still trying to, on the other foot, walking in 11. That didn't match. So I had to keep on walking and keep on learning and keep on doing and keep on working on me until I both was in a size 10. Right size, same walk, same shoe. I thank y'all. We are on. I done finished a whole nother chapter. And we are on step 1. You know what? I love y'all. If anybody haven't told y'all I love you, I don't say it because it's just free to say it. I say it because I mean it. Y'all don't know what y'all do for me. Y'all don't know what y'all do for me when y'all come on here. Y'all don't know what y'all do for me. What you telling me is, Renee, we want it. Renee, we enjoy listening to you. Renee, you going to keep it real, you going to keep it funny, and you going to keep it raw. Yeah, I do, y'all. I got my days when it's raw. I got my days when it's funny. And I got my days where it's just hilarious. I got my days. But every day that I get on here, it's real. I ain't got time to play games. I'm too old for that. I'm 65 years old. I ain't got to lie. I don't want to lie. I'm not a liar. Woo! Did you hear me, Renee? I am not a liar. I am so glad to say that. Do you know how many years it took me to say that I am not a liar? I tell the truth. Even if it hurt, I'm going to tell. Don't ask me nothing, because I tell you, don't ask me. Please don't come to me and ask me how your hair do look. Don't do that. Please don't call me and ask me how them pants, that suit you got on. Don't tell me, because I'm going to give you the answer. And I will hope you do the same for me. Hey, Stella. I'm going to hope you do the same. We had a good broadcast today. We was on step 12, having had a spiritual awakening. As a result of these steps, we tried to carry the message to addicts and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Everything that we learn, everything that we talk about, we try to carry the message to different, to addicts in all our affairs, whatever conversation, whatever affair it is, whatever we dealing with, as long as it's dealing with being recovered, you know, and being, I'm a recovering addict. I ain't an addict. I'm a recovering addict. And I just found, as long as I don't pick up, as long as I don't use, I'm good. That's the whole key. Ain't no medicine for it. Ain't no medicine for it. As long as you don't pick up, figure it out, and don't use, you good. This was the starting point that changed my life. We admit that we were powerless over our addiction and our lives had become unmanageable. Man, saved my life. Step 1. We are back on step 1. We done covered the whole 12 steps, you know, and I wanted to say, you know, thank y'all for believing in me. Thank you for letting me be me. Thank you for letting me be honest. Thank you for letting me be able to keep it real, because I know no other way. You know, I got clean and I got well and I nurture myself to be the best I can be. So you get the best from me. That's all I'm going to give you. And I tell the truth. You know, I don't have to lie. I don't have to scheme. I don't do it. I change. And I know some of y'all know what that feels. Stella, Selena, and Auntie Wanda, and Latrice, and Robin, you know, and the other guy that was on there. You know, if you didn't get clean and change, then you miss it. You miss something. Because getting clean is the best gift that I gave myself. You know, I just don't get it. I wish I had this long time ago. It's been over 30 years and I wish, but it wasn't time. God had to tell me, Renee, it wasn't time. And you had to go through some things. You had to go through some hardship. You had to go through some breakups. You had to go through some letdowns. You had to go through making U-turns and turning right and turning left. You know, you had to go through some things so I could get the best out of you. He wants the best out of y'all. So you will cry, you will hurt, you will be broken, heartbroken. You will not understand an individual, you know, but you have to sit back and chill like I do and having that spiritual connection. God gonna show you everything. When they let go of that, he playing games. He don't mean you no good. He ain't your friend. You don't need that. Don't let him in. Treat them with kindness even though you see the crookedness in them. Treat them with kindness even though you know what they doing ain't manly or ladylike. God is good all the time. And all the time, he is good. So we on step 1. And that's my favorite step. That helped me. Coming into treatment, that helped me step one. We are powerless over our addiction, that our lives have become unmanageable. And we know what unmanageability means. And sometimes you ain't even got to be addicted to drugs for your life to come unmanageable. You know, but when you can be addicted to something else. I was addicted to many things other than drugs, but the drugs kept me being addicted to many things that I didn't want to be. So I thank God that I understand the disease of an addiction. I hate that disease. And anytime I can help somebody, anytime I can do anything for God's people when it comes to using, hey, I'm in. Straight up, I'm in, because I know I had saved my life, how I saved your life. I know how we struggle and with our mind to keep on staying clean no matter what happens. When they say no matter what, that means no matter what, who die, who leave you, who break up with you, who cheat on you, who hurt you, you ain't got to use no matter what. Because you'll win at the end of not feeding into the bull crap. God bless you. Thank you. I'll see y'all on next Friday. You've been a blessing to me. I hope I've been a blessing to you all. And do something good for someone today. If ain't nobody told you they loved you, tell them Miss Renee say they love you. Y'all have a good night and be nice and kind to someone. Safe week. See y'all Friday. Good evening.